Today we're just going to be doing a quick demo of how we present a machine to a current customer or a new customer as well. We're going to be focusing on three main areas: the input, throughput, and the output. Starting on the input, we're going to talk about where paper actually goes into the machine. Starting up here is the document feeder. If you look right here, it can actually get smaller or go wider. This can actually do up to A3, which is 11 by 17, or 8.5 by 11, and it can go in this way. And what's really cool about this as well, like most of our machines that we have this right here. So if there's ever an issue where there is a paper jam or there's just a misfeed, as David likes to call it, a misfeed issue, there's these little green knobs over here, and if you come over here and look at this, you can see there's a 1 and a 2. And it's both in green. Green, like in a stoplight, there's red, yellow, green. Green means go, anything yellow or red don't touch. So if there's ever a misfeed in the paper, all you have to do is lift up on it. It's very simple, and it also shows the directions right here. And if sometimes there could be a rolling issue, you just pull this up and roll it off. So it's not too complicated. It's made for simple ease of use. Then you just close that back up. And whenever the paper goes in, it will always come out under here. So after the paper goes in, it comes out. And I like it again because it's very simplistic based. And then if you're going to be scanning one specific document, what's really cool about this is a scanning area. This right here, I'll start right here. This is where actually the scanning occurs on the paper once it goes through here. Sometimes people will notice with their documents that there will be certain lines, black lines or fuzzy lines, and it keeps showing up. More times than not, it's because of this right here, and all you have to do is get a damp cloth and wipe it off. It's not too complicated. Just use a damp cloth. And then again, this is where you place the paper at, and it actually shows you the dimensions. So if you're wanting to do 11 by 17, you place the paper going this way. And if you want to do 8.5 by 11, a letter size, you can do it this way. Another area of input is right down here. You have letters that you input here to get copies of it. It'll come out of this area or this area down here. And what I like about this unit is you can also, depending on what size, you can actually change that you want this one to be legal, letter, 11 by 17. So I personally think that's really cool. I like the way that's set up. And then also has a second one which does the same thing, not too complicated. You can have another 2 slots like this, or you can have an area for storage, and they chose to use storage for this one, so you can put staples in there, certain parts, CDs, ink toner, and it just makes it easier instead of always having to put it back in a closet. Another place for input would be right over here. So if you're needing to do cardstock, you're doing a lot of marketing material, all you got to do is put it right in here, and it'll actually show you again has the different sizes of paper you need. And again, use this for anything that's heavier paper, just because you want to have a good, crisp, clean copy instead of the paper being folded or bent when it goes to a current client. And then right over here, we have some other areas. If there's ever paper jams, we'll go into more paper jams as well. You press this button right here. The green I talked about again, there's one right here. You just look for the green. To move the misfed paper, all you got to do is open this up and the paper will come out. Or if it's also down here, you can also open this up as well. So, but again, anything yellow, you see caution, do not touch because it's hot, and that's what's pressing the ink to stay on the paper. And then, simple enough, from that point, all you got to do is close it up. And there's one other area where there's throughput, where there could be a misfeed or error, and all you got to do is open this up and pull it out. Then last but not least, we have our output, and it is right over here. And you can notice by the way this is a one machine type. So depending on how heavy it is, it'll go down lower, lower, and lower and lower. And this is where the paper will come out depending on what size it is. Especially if you're getting 11 by 17, you're going to want to have to pull it out here so it's holding the paper off and the paper's not just falling off the machine. You want it to stay on there. And this part right here is the actual screen from where you want to use anything from copying, faxing, as well as scan and sending features. I'm not going to go into great detail about this because depending on our brands, because we have several brands we use, the function may be different, but some basic ones you will have are copy, you have scan and send, scan and store. And one of the things we definitely want to encourage our customers about this is if they've ever used an iPhone, an Android, even some of these new smart TVs, any technologies, it's easier to use. That's why they use it, because there isn't all these functions you got to press to do this. You can copy, just press the copy button. Depending on what kind of finishing you're wanting, two-sided, how dark or how light you want that copy to be. So if you wanted to go to even two-sided, it's pretty basic. Just press the two-sided. And if you're wanting a one-sided page, one-sided pages up here to become two-sided, just press that. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory, not too complicated. And if you want to know, okay, how do I get back home? Right here on the main menu button, just press the main menu button and you can get right back to where you need to. Again, it has scan and send, fax, scan and store. Press that button to your mailbox, to your advanced box, to your network. And again, the way this layout here might not be the same on every manufacturer, but just showing you it's very easy to use. So if anybody has ever used a smartphone, they will like this because it's very simple and you don't have to try to remember what functions do what. It's just right there.